If this works, Trump will be considered a genius for generations to come and will almost certainly win the midterms. If this fails, he will be considered one of the worst presidents in history. Be prepared for some buying opportunities in all sectors. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, maturity-wise, compared to LeBron, at that age, at 40 years old, they were way beyond what LeBron still acts like a kid. Is Elon really leaving Doge, or are they running him out? Why are you worth $120 million or $150 million, Nancy Pelosi, when you make a couple $100 grand a year?
Call us Reyes on the humble show. Yeah, we all in. Yeah, we all in. So grab your boys now, cause you know we all win. Lift your hands up.
Markets are plunging. Kanye West is back on the scene wearing a iced out swastika beat down chain, a black KKK robe also, by the way, as he's fleeing to Japan. Musk is being ran out of the government. And LeBron and Stephen A. Smith are still arguing online. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are surfing the net. But before we do that, welcome back to the All In Podcast. I am your host, Carlos Reyes. With the usual suspects here right across from me is the man, the myth, the legend, the most interesting man in the industry, Mr. Zady. And to my left, back on the show, after a week of absence, is Mr. Born Closer, a.k.a. Mr. Adrian Salgado. Gents, welcome back.
Welcome.
It's good to be here.
So here, we'll get through this one because this is quick, right? We are surfing the net today. And today, the Dow is extremely down. Something about the markets haven't been this low since 2020. All right, so everybody's kind of freaking out. Now, there's a lot of things happening at a macroeconomical level, right? That some people feel that they know, and most people don't understand, in my opinion. Now, 47, aka the president, he did say, hey, hang tight. It's going to be a little rocky, but we're going to turn it around. He literally said that when he addressed the nation about a month ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He said, just hang tight. Things are going to get hard before they get better. And I think what he's doing is very, very, very clever. Here's one of my personal friends, and I consider him an economist, okay, an economist. Here's what he texted me yesterday, which made a lot of sense, and I think you'll appreciate it. Here. Right. Here we go. All right. Listen to this. Trump's tariff moves today appear to be with the intent to create a short but deep manufactured recession. A short but deep manufactured recession. People are saying that he's doing this on purpose.
It's a slingshot, man.
It's a slingshot effect, right? Or the slingshot concept, right?
Yeah.
Watch this. 1, the average American and common voter have very little exposure to the stock market, which is true. Come on. I don't follow the stock market.
I don't either.
I don't care. I'm in real estate. I'm in private equity.
I walked into my barbershop this morning. My Isaiah's barber, my son's barber, was talking to the guy that was in his chair about the market dropping. He said he woke up. Like at the end of the day, I told him at the end of the day, right, it doesn't matter what the market's doing today. It's when you go and actually try to cash out is what the market's doing at that point.
Exactly.
So ride the waves.
That's right. Number 2, a stock market recession with trade being the epicenter will disproportionately affect the rich and should hit other countries harder than it will hit us. Number 3, a recession will force the Fed to pivot. In fact, the 10-year Treasury has dropped significantly even today after Trump's speech. Number 4, short but depression will give our government the ability to refinance the debt, which will be a huge step towards balancing the budget. Number 5, the wealthy have made extreme gains in this country over the last 4 years of Biden and are well prepared for a short, deep recession. Absolutely. Number 6, Trump's tax cuts, along with deregulation and lowering energy prices, ending wars, and backing off the tariffs at some point in the future, will end the recession very quickly. Watch this. If this works, Trump will be considered a genius for generations to come and will almost certainly win the midterms. If this fails, he will be considered one of the worst presidents in history. Be prepared for some buying opportunities in all sectors. This is one of the smartest human beings I know. I don't know if he wants me to put his name out there, so I'll keep it, right? But makes a lot of sense to me. And then I told him, I said, hey, also, is Elon really leaving Doge or are they running him out?
Neither.
And this is what he said. He shouldn't have threatened Congress, ... out loud. Right? He goes, regardless, he goes, Trump needs Congress for his next steps. Elon upstaged the master plan by a little bit. Good for Tesla's stock value to have him back at the helm, right? And I'm just like, dude, I get it. You know, if Elon leaves, it is what it is. But man, because you can't keep up. You can't keep 4 years of this. Like Elon just like.
It was never
hit the whip.
It was never intended for him to be there for 4 years.
For sure.
No, he got a government contract to work as a contractor.
120 days, I think.
Yeah. By law, that's all he has. And then they have to.
And he's discovered so much, right?
And Doge is going to be shut down on I think the 100th anniversary of America. The next Independence Day that's coming up. Or in 2 years.
Mm-hmm. In 2 years. Okay.
They're going to shut down Doge after it fulfills its mission if the pro-slavery party doesn't stop them. But, you know.
So I think what some people didn't appreciate recently was when he started calling out the net worth of senators and, you know.
You make $250K. Why do you have $40 million in your bank account? Yeah.
That's right. And that's when people started running for the hills. Yeah. That's when it was just a little too much for some people. But here's what I said. I said, I think he's only saying he's only saying out loud what we in America have all been thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's a voice.
So
he's become a voice.
Right? Like, why are you worth $120 million or $150 million, Nancy Pelosi, when you make a couple $100,000 a year?
You know what made me kind of just stop just being in the fray of like doing research and like talking to people about this? It's like, I feel like American voters, specifically liberals that vote Democrat, they have Stockholm syndrome. That's like when, you know, somebody kidnaps you and like you don't want to leave. So you have somebody who's exposing, hey, this guy's stealing from you.
That's right.
Don't let him in your house. And people are like, no, what are you doing? Why are you trying to stop him? He could come in. He could take whatever he wants. You're the thief. And like the mentality that people are just so brainwashed where there's no point of even having any kind of communication. This Cory Booker guy.
So the guy that just broke the record for
23 hours.
25 hours speech?
Yeah, 25 hours speech. And like people are like, oh yeah, great job. Be like, he's preaching white liberal ideology
for 25 straight hours.
He's a black man. So it's like, oh, let's praise him. No, man, that's like, read between the lines.
Well, look at the times we're in, where you have that, and then on the complete opposite side, you have somebody like Kanye West as well too, in a full, you know,
black KKK robe with the bust down swastika.
It's a bishop's
chain
outfit. It's not KKK outfit.
What is it?
No,
it's a bishop's outfit.
Somebody tried to swing it that way, but he said it himself. He was like, "I'm wearing the black KKK leather."
You know what he said?
It's leather.
Listen, opposite though. Does that make sense?
By the way, before we get into Kanye, right? He was on his way to Japan. He said he was fleeing because he's like, I can't stay in one place for too long, right? And for some reason, he's always in Japan. I think in Japan.
He likes Asians.
Huh?
He likes Asians.
I don't think it has anything to do with that, but okay.
I think he likes Asian women. They're
I don't think it has anything to do with that. All right, back to the situation with this guy, Mr. Cory Meeker. Cory Meeker? Booker. Cory Booker?
Yeah.
Cory Booker. All right, back to Cory Booker. 25 straight hours speech. Like he was up there on a podium for 25 straight hours. I'm like, dude, you didn't have to go pee? Like you held your piss for 25 hours?
He dehydrated himself.
No,
he would have collapsed.
There's always something that allows. allows people to kind of do those things. So I don't think it was a straight 24 hours unless he's wearing a diaper.
Yeah, maybe that's like the
Right?
What if he is wearing
They
a
probably
diaper?
give him like 5-minute increments or 2-minute breaks or something like that.
He's a Democrat, so that makes sense.
This morning
for
on
them to do
ESPN, they
it.
were just talking, or on the news, they were talking about a group of guys that played a pickup basketball game for 110 hours and broke the Guinness Book of World
Jeez,
Records.
oh my God.
That's
And I was thinking
crazy.
about it, I was like, how do you do that? They had 2 shifts. They had a night shift and a day shift.
Oh,
So
smart.
as long as the game keeps going,
like bench players.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
people would take a nap on the side. They would have to sleep there and stuff
Yeah.
at the gym.
What people do for records.
Got it.
We should do the world's longest real estate.
We should do the we should do the
Conference.
world's longest podcast show.
What is that?
We should go
Search
for
it.
like, yeah, go ahead, search it. What's the longest?
We should try to break a world record.
Yeah, just on the
That
just
would
the
be pretty
podcast.
epic. Yeah.
what's the
being
longest?
Guinness?
Yeah, in like one sitting. That'd be cool.
Probably 4 days.
Oh, what's the longest podcast?
153
without
hour
anybody saying
marathon?
anything.
We could do
100
that.
on the podcast for 153 hours. Dutch podcasters.
It's like 5 days.
That'd be cool.
roughly,
Should
right?
we should we
24?
try to ramp up for that one day?
We could sub in and out too. You know, we could do that. Right. So it's
Yeah.
3 of us, and then someone comes in.
It would definitely
someone
make
goes out.
headlines. Put it on the.
Then we put the Guinness Book of World Record. Like you get like a little certificate. We could put it up.
You could just bring in guests every single day.
Oh wow, yeah.
We
Oh,
can
yeah, every
we
hour.
can put the couch over there and
Dude,
like just take turns sleeping. Right.
let's do it. That would be
We got a bathroom
sick.
here. We got a shower here. Right.
How many days is that? 153 total hours?
Well, divide that by
153
24.
24, 48,
What is that?
36.
He's doing it right now.
5.5 days.
6, almost a full
week of podcast.
almost a full
Is
week.
that 6 or 5?
That'd be great.
6, yeah.
Bro, can he survive in those leather pants for 7 straight days?
Oh, bro, so
Absolutely,
much
bro.
chafing.
Wow.
Absolutely, bro.
Nah,
no,
you
there's
would
no
heat
chafing
up.
unless you move, bro.
You
Plus,
would
you
heat
could
up.
put
Powder.
what's it called?
Talcum powder?
No, like oil. You put oil on the inside.
Oh, you want to get real ditty like.
Yeah. Oil, Vaseline.
I would lube you up to get you into those pants.
I wouldn't let you
I would
lube
sauce
me
you
up.
up to
Your
get
hands
you
are too
out.
small to lube me up, bro.
Wow. So real quick. All right. So let's get, you guys were, let's talk about the Kanye situation, right? Did you guys watch that
started
interview
watching
with
it.
DJ Academics?
I couldn't commit. It was too late last night.
Not yet.
I couldn't commit.
Oh,
And I
go
know-
back to that one. Go back to 8 things we learned. Yeah, go back to that. What did we learn?
8 things we learned
Yeah, what do
from
we do that?
Ye's interview.
He didn't want to have kids with Kim Kardashian.
Bro,
I feel like that's a lie, bro.
like you didn't want to have kids with Kim Kardashian like 2 months into the relationship. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to have kids with
bro,
Kim Kardashian. Then
bro.
you end up popping out 4.
Bro. If your wife had a sex tape, if any of our wives had a sex tape, would we want to have kids with them?
But it
Just
wasn't.
keeping it real,
how do you-
bro.
It was.
How many kids do they have?
Just keeping it
4?
real.
5? No way.
If you made her
Can you see how many
your
kids
wife after the sex tape,
You already lost, yeah.
so a
Plus, he likes those kinda
kids
girls.
at that point is not off the limits.
I don't know, because that's your decision, but it's not like messing up your kid. Like, my
4.
mama made a sex tape. Like,
By the way, right? 4 kids. All right. Kanye used to like these kind of women. You have to remember the kind of women he used to date.
used to?
He still does. He has a type.
Well, he's no longer with Bianca Censori now, so we'll see who's next, right?
Watch, it's going to be an Asian, bro.
Is-
I'm telling you.
is-
Asian
we'll
woman,
see.
Whoever it
subservient
is,
Asian
she's
woman.
probably going to look very similar.
Yeah, he does have.
We're not even going to see what she looks like. The next one, we're not even going to see, like, face. She can be covered. She can be
You
Asian.
turn a Muslim.
No, Asian.
Full garb.
Asian.
Anyway,
Watch, bro. I call it.
So, all right, what
Write
other
it
things
down.
did we learn from that interview?
First off, the outfit was nuts.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not either.
I wasn't surprised at all. You know who was surprised?
Everyone.
Academics.
Yeah.
Here,
When he's like, let me go change into something.
What's
something
that?
more comfortable.
what's the new slaves? The new slaves video. So people people tend to forget, right? The Yeezus album.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it was Black Skinhead.
Black skinhead.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Kanye's been doing this since Yeezus album.
When did that come out? Black Skinhead album. Can you check?
The Yeezus album.
Yeah, just put when did that come out? Right.
2018.
I don't understand how.
20 2013.
Why does stuff like this like offend?
Yeah,
people?
2013. There it is.
Why does stuff
Look at that.
like
What's
this
the album?
offend
What's the
people?
track
Bro?
list on
I
that?
don't get it. Like, who cares?
Who cares what?
Like, why does it offend people? Like, who cares, bro?
Well, here's what Kanye said, by the way.
Swastika isn't even like a evil thing. It's like, if it predates the Nazi party, bro. Like, you know, go do some research.
On site, black skinhead, I am a god, new slaves.
Hold my liquor.
Um,
I'm in it.
But if you go look back, and the reason I brought that up was because we were watching some. Actually, I put Michaela onto my beautiful dark twisted fantasy.
which songs?
Yeah, that stuff. Look, that's on the. Those were on his videos, bro.
Oh, yeah, you already
Way
had
back
that.
then.
You already had that.
So why are they making a big deal about it now? Here's what was crazy to hear, by the way. This was probably one of the things that were just mind-boggling, right? Look up what he said when Kanye says, they continue to remind us and profit of our pain.
Oof.
So I just wanted to remind them of their pain.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because
you didn't watch it yet.
No, because all the music that's created, like, that's not like
Yes, let's talk about that.
stuff. What the hell is that?
Let's
bro?
talk about that. Let's
about
talk
programming.
About, so here's the not conspiracy. I don't know if it's conspiracy. The conspiracy, right, or the allegations is that there's a lot of very powerful Jewish businessmen that own the record labels.
Whether they're Jewish or not, they're not black.
I get it.
You know?
Yeah, right. And if you think about it, right, if you think about the music that's being out there, especially in the hip hop community, especially in the black community, right? What is it? What does it consist of? What are the lyrics about? Murdering,
money, drugs, women.
Money, drugs, freaking, disparaging and undermining women, right?
Killing somebody,
calling them different
up,
names,
insulting them,
right? And this is, by the way, this is actually
having sex with Gucci flip flops.
I just F your B with some Gucci flip flops. Whoa, dude.
That's gonna be so good for like an 8-year-old to like learn.
Yeah, like man, I can't wait till my 12-year-old listens, bro. So does he have a point? Does he have a point?
Yeah.
That in the black community, let's be honest, right? And I'm not black, so I can't speak for black people. But I grew up, Mexicans, we grew up in very similar communities, bro. You know what I mean? And we listen to very similar music.
Yeah.
Right? In the black community, what is the dominant genre?
Hip hop.
Rap/hip hop, yes?
It was blues.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Jazz.
So and then what does rap and hip hop consist of now? Do you guys remember like the 80s when rap and hip hop was
they actually
different?
had words?
Like Grandmaster Flash, right?
Yeah.
It's like
it was rap.
Broken
it was
glass
rhyming
everywhere.
Yeah.
People pissing on the right.
Yeah.
Like they just don't care. I can't. It was like they
Actual
were talking
words.
about the struggle.
Yeah.
They were talking about the struggle. They were talking about what it was like to live
Brenda's
the
got
way
a
they were
baby.
living. That's not the lyrics now. That's not the lyrics.
You got to look
now.
at. You got to look at it, right? And you see videos of it all the time. In order for, this is what started the whole independent wave, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people could independently kind of pick how their music sounded and what it did, but there's not a lot of money for that. There's a lot of hustle in that aspect. So when you go to a record label, they put you in a conference room and they start playing your music around a bunch of people that probably don't listen to that, and they just want to see how marketable it is. Right. And once they see, okay, we can market this, we can spin this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even, and the funny thing, it's not just in hip hop or rap. I was listening to about like alternative music. I love alternative music. I love classic rock, but there was times where record labels come to you and tell you, this is the song that we need right now. And you need to make it. Doesn't matter what it sounds like. You need to make it and we're going to put it out. And so you have no control. So they're telling you what to rap about, telling you what's hitting right now. That's why all the music now sounds the same.
They're your boss.
They're your boss. All the music sounds the same now. And
Boss is a strong word. I would say master.
yeah, they're your master.
They're your you would consider the record labels the masters.
I would
The
say
puppet
it's
masters.
I would say it's like
Because
a
what you're
modern day
calling-
plantation.
What you're calling artists right now is that you're calling them modern age slaves.
Are they free?
New slaves, like Kanye
Are they
called
free?
Are they?
I don't think so.
I mean, they're out with the jewelry and the cars and the and the money.
That's all borrowed money, though.
Yeah,
That's not
that's
their
all
money.
debt.
It's all borrowed money.
They have to pay that money back. They spent part of their budget on.
It's
You
like
know-
it's like this. If you want to poison people, right? You're not going to have somebody who's a different race because the people aren't going to listen.
Yeah, like, who
so
is
you
this
bring
guy?
so you bring in somebody who I can relate to that guy, right? So you bring that person, you tell them what to say, and then they poison the minds of everybody, and now everyone has this limited belief that they're oppressed, that they're not, that it's difficult to live in this country like that. They're not told they could do whatever they want. They're not told, hey, you know what? Clarence Thomas, first Black Supreme Court justice, lifelong term. That guy is honorable man. You be like that guy. Be like Dr. Ben Carson, a
Ooh,
brain
yeah.
surgeon, bro.
Yeah.
No, they don't talk about these guys. They don't shed light on these guys. Why? Because they don't want little black children to grow up and be like that. So that's why that's not
Who's
what's
they?
being pushed.
Who's
I don't
they?
know. That's a conspiracy.
That's
That's the-
see,
But the thing, it's
yeah.
what I'm saying is fact and true, but I
Yeah.
just don't know who the they is. That's where it gets into conspiracy. So
Yeah.
I don't know who that guy is in the current. It's probably a white liberal.
You know what? Go ahead.
No, so once again, we're not bashing all hip hop, all rap. There's still some people out there. Like I still keep my ear to the streets. There's a guy out of L.A. His name is L.A. Russell. And he's out of the Bay Area. Actually,
What's he rapping about?
He's rapping about getting out the hood, grinding, putting together all the money for his first show, taking a loss, but still keeping pushing it forward, talking about when things are down and out. But the more important thing that he's talking about is actually owning. He was like, if you know you're going to be an artist,
Yeah.
it's like this, right? If you know you're going to be an artist and you know you're going to be doing shows and you're going to be doing shows every single month, instead of renting out a venue every single month and adding that to your, but why not just buy one? And when you're not using it, rent it out.
Yeah.
And when you have it,
It's an
now
income
you're
stream.
cutting costs, right? And he's trying to teach the concept of being like an entrepreneur with your own rap game, right?
It's
So-
that ownership mentality, bro. That's what's missing. Like that's why I respect like Antonio Brown. Everyone's like, oh, he's crazy, he's lost it, whatever. This
He's
man
actually
is
pretty smart.
He's sitting down in an interview and they're talking to him. He's like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna commentate after you retire? He goes, man, I'm a Pro Bowl player. I'm one of the greatest football players of all time. Why am I gonna go be an announcer and commentate? I'm gonna try to buy a sports team, bro. That's what I'm going to try to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it made me think, I'm like, yeah, look at all these retired athletes still have their hand out instead of building their own stuff. Obviously, Shaq is built different,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg is built different. Snoop Dogg owns 170 businesses. He's probably going to be a billionaire soon. Shaq is probably billionaire status as well. You know what I mean? But those guys are the ones really doing it. They broke away from it, Just even little things, bro. Like when you think of 50 Cent, you think drug dealing, smoking weed. The guy doesn't drink alcohol. He doesn't smoke weed, and he's not a drug dealer. But that's the image. That's the perception. And then he profits off of it. I'll say this: the show Power. You guys watch Power?
I'm watching BMF
Bro,
right now.
on God, if I did not have parents, okay, if I grew up without any parental people around me guiding me, and I watched Power, 100% I'd be a drug dealer. 100%. I don't know if I'd be successful. I don't know if I would get killed, but 100% I would do that.
What would your
because
nickname
it
be?
looks great. Little Z or something, like
Little
Little Z.
It's very unfortunate to watch that.
Casper.
So here, let me just say this.
I'd be
right?
Casper. That's good. Yeah.
Let me say this. What's the difference? Do you guys remember in the 1980s, like the war on drugs and how like crack cocaine was hitting,
Yeah.
right, America pretty tough, right? So the black communities and the Mexican communities, the Latino communities, right, it was being polluted with all of these narcotics and substances. Yes.
Yeah, where'd it come from? They didn't just create it.
I understand that. Here's what I'm saying. So we were being poisoned back then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Physically.
How are we being poisoned now?
Mentally.
Through the mind,
Oh, spirit.
through the food, right?
Yeah.
Through the spirit.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
That's how we're being polluted now.
Because
That's
we
how
live
we're
in such a consumer mindset that everything that we consume nowadays is either going to have a positive or a negative effect on you
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in every aspect.
So let me ask you this. What's the difference between the rapper, right? The rapper and the drug dealer? What's the difference?
At this point, nothing.
One selling a drug physically, the other one selling a mental drug.
Which one actually ruins you more?
I don't know. That's good. Both, bro.
Oof.
Both are pretty.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are questions that like you just got to
Both are
ask
pretty
yourself,
bad, bro.
man.
They're
What'd you
equally
say?
the same.
I said both are pretty bad, bro.
I possibly would say that even the rapper is more liable to the dysfunctionality of society than a drug dealer is.
Yeah, I see. I don't think it's the rapper. I think they're just trying to feed their family, bro. It's the connect. You know, it's the guy supplying the rapper, the guy giving him the drugs to sell.
No, but
you
he
know what I
can't
mean?
do that without the talents,
Yeah.
without the
Talent, bro.
with-
Like the artist.
Yeah.
It's an artist.
Yeah,
It's
without
art.
you can't.
Come on,
Remember, what did you say?
You can
What
make
did you
an
say?
artist, bro.
What did you, some of these people at the top cannot penetrate
Yeah.
the urban communities without that person.
So let me just So Cash Money, right? What's the dude's name? That Baby.
Yeah.
Baby and
other
Manny
guy?
Fresh and them.
So they know how to make. They could literally form a superstar, right? Lil Wayne. What do they do with Lil Wayne? So Lil Wayne drops an album. By the way, extremely talented. Can't take anything away from him. But they buy 1 million copies of the album, platinum. Right? Now there's hype and now everybody buys it. They create a superstar.
But the music still has to be good.
Yeah, but the music is
create
created.
longevity.
Look at Drake, bro. Drake was created. He didn't write his own shit. You know what I mean? They made him a superstar. Nicki Minaj, they made her a superstar. How did they do that? Because Lil Wayne had it done to him, so he did it to them.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew the blueprint. They taught him the blueprint, and now he taught them the blueprint.
Yep.
So you could create a superstar, bro. They could make me a rapper if they want.
I
Talented artist. I can't rap for shit.
There was I saw an interesting video in 1998. No Limit. Master P made $58 million. That
He owned his own shit. That's
in
why.
1998.
That's right.
And it was
He owned his own
independent, huh?
stuff.
And it was all independent.
That's the way to do it, bro.
Sometimes it
I
makes you
respect
wonder,
Master
like,
P.
how are you still alive? Because some of these people will take you out.
Yeah. But he was
Right?
yeah,
Like-
yeah. He was it was all marketing, bro. It was all marketing.
Yeah.
He would put. I remember I would open up a
But
CD.
Go ahead.
All the albums look the same. All the album covers, the album art's classic, right?
The dollar sign.
Dollar sign, and then you open up the album, and then there's the
Tank.
booklet, and then there's a bunch of different little, like on the back one, it's like album coming soon, and it's just everything you opened and touched on that was
That's right.
all just straight.
It's like a
marketing.
comic book, sort
But
of.
think of 58 million. This is probably why he's still alive, right? Let me rephrase that.
Because he doesn't say anything.
No, who?
Master P.
This is probably why Master P is still alive after making $58 million.
He would have played for the
1998.
Hornets too. Remember?
Yeah. Watch this. Watch this. Ready? What is $58 million in a market share of billions?
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, let him have his fun. You know,
You know,
what I mean?
it's-
let him get a little piece.
You know what's brilliant? I thought he did. So this whole thing went on like, oh, Aunt Jemima, racist, blah, blah, blah. Let's take that out. So they discontinued Aunt Jemima, the syrup. And then Master P created one called Uncle P's syrup. So he just saw that opportunity and he capitalized on it because they're like, oh, they need a black business owner to sell syrup instead of having the face be a black lady. And yeah, man, I respect the shit out of Master P, bro. That guy's
I just don't
Great
appreciate it,
entrepreneur.
man. You know, I don't know. I don't appreciate the things that are done into like. It's almost like in the business world they call it like market manipulation. You know, it's like hood manipulation. You
It's
know,
mono- it's-
community manipulation.
It's not
you
even
know?
that. It's monopolizing the market.
yeah.
Yeah,
We
but I'm
ta-
talking about with what what we're being fed in
that.
the urban communities.
That's toxicity.
You know, and that's why sometimes I talk about, you know, when does capitalism, like there's good, healthy capitalism,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Competitive. You know, you bring out a good product to serve a lot of people. That's
Yeah.
great,
That's great.
right? But then you bring out products to ruin a lot of people's lives. What's the difference between that product and the drug game back in the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
They're both having the same effect. They're ruining the lives of the people in the urban communities,
The youth.
especially the youth.
And yeah, and then
Yeah, no old head. The old heads aren't listening to rap and hip hop.
yeah.
Maybe now, and that's disgusting to see. Have you guys seen some of this? Here. Let's talk about what's going on. Like on you got Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James going at each other, setting a great example for the minority community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Classic old school versus new school.
And then some people are just sitting back. The non-minorities are just sitting back like, this is exactly why they can't have a seat at our table.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's vicious. Yeah, but bro, comparing, I'm not a fan of LeBron, but comparing his talent to Stephen A. Smith's nothing. I mean, come on, bro. It's like
No, you can't say that.
Come on, bro.
You can't go ahead. Tell
Yeah,
them.
they're in two different sports.
That's right.
Bro.
Stephen A. Smith would be considered think about it. The guy's been in his.
He's gonna go down in
lane.
history as probably one of the best. You know,
I think
like
I
Scott
got
Stewart.
I think
Yeah,
he's
like-
got zero
Scott
talent. Stuart Scott.
Stuart Scott.
Stuart
I
Scott.
think Stephen A. Smith has zero talent whatsoever, and all he does is he criticizes people because he's insecure.
It's true, but it makes for good TV, and everybody.
I
Watches
mean, he's
it.
getting paid. You can't knock
and
him
he's the
down.
highest-
He's a
isn't he the
millionaire.
highest
broke
paid?
$100 million
Bro,
contract.
He's a millionaire, but you know what? Like
A
a lot of
millionaire?
people, get money sucking dick. You know, so
Jeez Louise, $100 million.
shit, that's some good dick sucking. I don't know, man. Allegedly, allegedly.
Bro,
That's nuts.
what can you see what his contract?
Zadie,
How
I would
much his
never get in a
contract was?
jiu-jitsu ring with you because that's not my game.
Yeah, I mean, what's his game? Talking shit? I could do that better than it.
Bringing up stats, bringing
Yeah,
up
bro.
statistics.
I'll
Again,
annihilate
in
that
sports.
man in a
There it
debate.
is.
In
ESPN.
sports.
I'll annihilate that man in a
In
debate.
sports,
Look at that.
highest paid non-former athlete.
Bro.
He guys never.
Gotta respect his
Go
money.
look at Tom Brady's contract. Like you got to respect it. I
You
think
gotta
Tom
respect
Brady
his
got
money.
$100 million.
You respect he's
contract.
getting money, sure, but that doesn't
Bro, but
mean
Tom
that,
Brady's
like,
what a 6 or 7 time world champion.
He got 10
Yeah.
years. 30. He's not even making 100 a year. 375.
Well, so
million.
who's making
But
more
see-
money?
but see,
All
here's the thing.
Tom Brady got a $375 million contract over 10 years.
So wait a second. Do you know?
Stephen A. Smith
Yeah.
got $100 million. Huh? Well, how long is his contract?
Do you know what?
The $100 million one.
No, yeah. But
You got I'd rather take a 5-year
Bro.
for 100.
Look. Stephen A. Smith is only in this position.
Wouldn't you?
Because he's
37. He's
ROT,
making 30
return on time.
He's making 37.
Bro, Stephen A.
Hold on, before you got to let me finish. What will he be worth in what kind of contract will he negotiate once this 5-year is up?
more. But he's an op, bro. He's a narc. He's an op. He's a Democrat placed there. Because
I don't know
hold on,
about
let
that,
me finish.
bro.
Let me finish.
He's had Candace Owens on his show. He's
yeah,
swinging
exactly.
really
It's
heavy
all a
right
part of the
right
plan.
now.
You talk to him, he's like, I'm a centrist. I'm not a Democrat. No, bro. What he does is he's talking shit to Democrats,
Yeah.
right, to get them to change, so then they could get more support because they're getting their ass kicked right now. So he's like the coach that comes in the fourth quarter. Come on, don't give up. You know, and he's saying hard shit. You know, he's making it tough for them. He's saying those things that maybe hurt a little bit, but he is there. I'm telling you right now, he's there specifically and this is a political contract. It's not sports, bro. This contract was to give him the ability to talk about politics. And what is he always talking about? Democrats should do this. Democrats should do this. The Republicans are kicking your butt. The Republicans are.
You
He's
think
an
he's
op,
going to
bro.
swing LeBron
He's an
the
op,
other
bro.
the other way?
No, he's not. What do you mean? LeBron is on the same team as him, bro.
Joey, are you saying that he's trying to convert everybody to that side?
He's trying to make Democrats more popular. That's why he's there. Because again, bro, it's a white liberal that put a black man in front of the camera and told him what to say. Or he knows what he's going to say. He's like, I'm going to pay that guy $100 million. Come here and tell all these people what I want them to hear so you could help me. and I'll give you pennies while you make me dollars. That's what's happening.
Again, back to what we were saying though. You're not a nobody if you get $100 million contract.
Okay, valid point. He's a somebody. Sure. He's a piece of shit somebody.
Okay.
That criticizes people for a living.
Got it.
I don't respect people that like, imagine we were all millionaires based on this show only because we just talk shit about people.
Great.
Shit's fun,
Let's
cool,
do it.
but is that respectful? Like what do you do for a living? I talk shit.
It depends. Are we talking shit or are we stating facts? Because some people can take the truth as shit talking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right?
Well, okay. What do you think of this situation with him and LeBron going at it?
I think he should just shut his mouth, bro. LeBron is like, you know, he is who he is. But at the same time, it's like LeBron brought his kid in the league, and then now he's mad at him for not talking about his kid. Like,
It's weird.
But the thing is, it's like, again, he's kind of going against LeBron politically too, so they have to kind of butt heads.
Do you
know
guys
what I mean?
remember? By the way, do you guys remember those early shows back
Looks
from
like that.
2024 when LeBron, when Bronny was still at USC, and we were all like criticizing him, saying,
Yeah.
"This guy doesn't deserve to be in the league," right? He was averaging like 4 points per game, 4.3 or something, right? And then here we are, you know, a year and some change later, and it's all come to fruition.
I'm glad he's in the league, bro. Like, white people do that all the time. The kings have
I
their
agree.
sons be kings.
Yeah, I agree in that aspect.
Nancy Pelosi's nephew is Gavin Newsom. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is that guy a governor, bro? It's because who Nancy Pelosi is, not because of who he is.
I get it.
You know? So why can't Bronny get that too?
We're not saying that from a father's perspective. Hey, good job.
You
right?
got the
Like,
power, right? Yeah.
From a father's
Talent
perspective,
perspective
but
is different,
talent-wise
yeah.
and basketball-wise, I mean, Stephen A. Smith has the right
Yeah, sure.
to say, "Hey, man, I don't think your kid's that good. I think he has potential, but that's not where it is right now, or whatever." Right? But
it just goes to the unfortunate thing is what it shows for the NBA and how LeBron runs the NBA.
Yeah.
oh no, but he doesn't call himself the face of the league. He doesn't want it.
He says he doesn't get calls. That's why he flops.
I'm gonna be on. I don't want to say I want to be honest with you. I said, let me just set something straight. Is what I mean to say. I think LeBron, in some way, shape, or form, he kind of cowards away from a lot of things that, like, and he contradicts himself. I remember when he was telling Kobe Bryant at some point that he was gonna be the face of the league. You know, I remember Tim Duncan.
Is that his stats right now?
Yeah, he's averaging 2 points per game. Why? I remember, but everybody's talking about him.
Bro, that's great.
Bronny James is averaging 2 points per game in the NBA, and everybody is talking about a player that averages 2 points per game.
Bro, because he's like one of us. He's like one of us in the league.
You should ask.
Like, I should go
you should
play
ask
against
Chat.
him.
You should ask
I should pick him up for my
ChatGPT
rec league.
It's not that
to
bad,
compare
bro.
Bronny's stats versus everybody with the same amount of playing time in the NBA. But how much playing time
They
is he
don't get no
getting
playing
versus the
time.
other
Yeah,
second round
exactly.
picks? That's why I said
How many minutes per game is Bronny getting?
210. No,
How many minutes per
A
game?
bro? What?
You just go to the averages. We should pick him up for the rec league.
He could have been a video game professional.
It doesn't say his
He's
average.
a good
About
gamer.
6 minutes a game.
Damn, that's crazy. That's half a quarter. 22 minutes a game?
No, bro. Nobody cares about the G League.
All the G's.
Anyway, back to where we were. You guys still haven't told me how you feel about the argument
I love
that's
it.
been dragging on now for about 3 weeks.
What
I love
argument?
it. Everybody caters to LeBron.
Oh,
Everybody on all the news channels try to not offend LeBron.
yeah.
And Stephen A. Smith has now opened his mouth on that side.
Good. It's about time.
It's about time.
It's about time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's about time. People needed to hear everything. And the best part about it is he's coming with statistics and he's not coming with just sheer opinion.
It's crazy. Like, why for years and years and years, nobody can touch LeBron. Nobody can say anything. Nobody can touch him.
I'm trying to think. No one said anything bad about Jordan. Because I remember I didn't like Jordan when he was playing because he beat all my favorite players. And I respect the shit out of him after he retired.
Kobe either.
Kobe.
Yeah, nobody really talked
Yeah,
bad
they
about
didn't
him.
say bad. Yeah, no, they talked bad about him. He's a ball hog, this, that. He didn't, he's not a good team player. They would say that about Kobe. But Jordan, like, they didn't, bro. That guy, no one said anything about that guy.
Yeah. Well, what's his name? LeBron was on Pat McAfee's show, and he's just like, yeah, Stephen A. Smith, he's on his Taylor Swift podcast tour right now,
Oh my God.
like dragging on our little interaction that we had at the game,
Yeah.
And then in the way, I'll tell you what, man, I feel that Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, maturity wise, compared to LeBron at that age, at 40 years old, they were way beyond what LeBron still acts like a kid.
What do you think the difference was?
I think he's been babied.
Yeah.
I think he's entitled.
Yep.
He's been babied by everybody all his life, most of his life, because of, his talent and his, everything that he, everything he provides to everyone. Right.
It's like the person that
You can tell, bro. You can tell you can tell he's an adult child.
It's like the person that reaches success without struggle.
Yeah.
And I don't mean
It's not his fault.
I'm not talking about struggling in his life, personal life. God knows what he went through.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is like Michael Jordan had to get his ass kicked by the Detroit Pistons year after year after year after year. And he's like, I got to get better. He wasn't like, I need Magic on my team. I need Larry on my team. Like that's a little different. Like, I'm going to take my talents to Miami because I can't win here. And then he came back and he won, but then he had Kyrie who won him the championship, really. But no, he doesn't get credit for that.
Well,
because he came straight out of
And then
high
he won
school,
in the
but so
bubble.
did Kobe.
so did Kevin Garnett.
Yeah,
Kobe
I'm
was
talking about. I mean, we're not lumping. Garnett.
Kobe was
Garnett's
like
a little bit of a.
Kobe
edge
was
case.
in Jerry West's eyes the greatest basketball player of all time, but everyone else, they're like, who's this kid? He airballed 4 times in the playoffs, bro. Get this guy out of here. LeBron, before he even stepped on the court, he's the king. That's crazy. You don't even play a game and you're the king. Like,
For me, I think the top 2
He's a
players
plant.
of all time is Jordan and Kobe.
It was too much exposure too fast. He was getting stadiums. He was getting ESPN games
for high school.
in high school.
I watched that. I watched his high
I
school
did
game
too.
on ESPN.
I was a LeBron fan all the way up until
Same.
he
Became a baby.
No, until he had. I'll tell you the exact day when he made the announcement, and the same time Durant said he was leaving OKC, because Durant was one of my favorite players too. Durant said it on a tweet, but LeBron felt the need to keep his mouth, like keep it on the hush. Let's get everybody involved. Like it's a draft day or something like that. Let's get all the news and everything to tell people that I'm going to leave the state, that I'm going to leave the team that I started with, and then I'm going to go play with these other guys over here. When you had to make it that big of a spectacle, then you're definitely a narcissist. It's an ego trip at that point.
sure.
I want everybody to look at me to see where I'm going to be doing next. And then follow me over there.
Is another thing though too, like as a businessman, you got to kind of take this into consideration. You have Ohio has state tax, and then you have Florida with no state tax, and you're talking about multi-millions of dollars. That's a big reason, right? I mean, it would be for me and my family. So imagine.
Do you think that was a primary reason why LeBron left Cleveland?
For the tax breaks?
I think that's a part of it, bro. I'm sure he had super teams to go to.
You're
I
starting
think
to heat
that
up in
one.
those pants.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not a hater. I just
think
keep
at
it
that
real.
stage in
You gotta
life,
keep it real.
you have enough
You can go
handlers,
wherever you want.
enough handlers around you that are going to help you,
Offset.
different taxes.
People go to Florida for taxes, bro.
Anyway, yeah. Want to close out the show? Zady, any last words from you before I close it out?
Yeah, make sure if you wear leather pants, you use oil on the inside so you don't chafe.
Are you going to wear those in July here in Arizona?
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it. My
If we
wife
go-
thinks it's sexy, bro.
If we
so-
go to this concert this weekend,
My
would
wife
you wear
was-
those out there?
Bro, my wife wasn't even gonna let me leave the house today. She was trying to jump me. She's like, "Come on, let's go, quickie." And I'm like, I gotta go to work. She's like, "Oh," I'm like, "I'll come home and we'll, take it up then."
What is it about the leather pants?
It's not just the leather pants. It was like the whole outfit. I don't know. She
Oh,
thought
just
I
the
was just
swag?
sexy today.
The
Yeah.
swag? Yeah.
She's like, "You sexy."
Swag.
So as long as my wife is turned on, bro, I'll wear it.
Can I borrow?
She let
Let's see how they work in my house.
see if it works.
Let me see how they
It'll
work in
be
my
interesting seeing you with leather pants too.
You don't fit in those.
house. I don't fit in those.
We'll
What are
get
those?
you another pair.
What are those, like 42, 20?
Oh my, 42, bro.
4220.
Jesus Christ. I'm a 33 and I'm obese, bro. 42 is like that lady that sued Uber because they didn't give her the car, bro.
Oh, man.
Last
Oh,
words
man.
from you.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go
Sorry.
ahead. Finish it.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, if you don't want to be fat, don't eat cheeseburgers and pizza and candy.
Those are your last words.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, last words.
Last words. Man, if we don't want to sit here and sound like we're bashing everything, you know, but we've just grown, I think, at this point to where if it's not going to help us elevate,
Yeah.
then it's just not something that we're going to partake in. So the music that we listen to, we choose,
Yeah.
you know, and I've tried to go back and listen to other stuff, but
Yeah.
it's just,
Doesn't
it just
hit the
doesn't
same.
sit right. It feels sinful, honestly. So
Doesn't feel right, huh?
it doesn't. That's why reggae is so. I'm a huge reggae lover
yeah.
now. Reggae is so uplifting and powerful and full of joy.
Yeah.
And it has a nice little beat.
I mean, it has its purpose though. Like if I was gonna go to war, I'd want to listen to Tupac "Hit 'Em Up" before I go. You know,
I'd
like
probably listen to some
that'll get me
metal.
like get me really ready.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, you know, we appreciate you joining us on another show. We will be back next week. If you have not subscribed, please do so. And we love to see the likes and the comments down below. Talk to you soon.